Hello and welcome again to another video with the Identity Manager and Angular web development. Honestly, I was not quite sure to produce this video, but I decided it makes sense to show that it is possible to use as well other platforms to do my Angular web development. And because of that, I decided just to show you how to prepare a Linux Mint machine. With that, we showed that it is easily possible to do my complete web front-end development as well on a Linux Mint or, for example, an Apple machine. Have fun with that and follow the steps. Angular is something you can install not just only on a Windows workstation as already seen, you can as well use other platforms like Macs or, for example, a Linux platform to install your client front-end. I want to show you the installation of your Angular environment on a Linux platform. Therefore, I'm using Linux Mint. As you easily can see, I'm here on a Linux desktop, and if you look at the issues, then you see it is a Mint 20.3, which is the current Mint version when I was just creating that specific video. What I like to do is to install all the tools you saw before now on that specific Linux system. Therefore, by the way, a lot of information exists in the internet. So if you, for example, look in the internet, this is the description for installing Node.js on a Linux Mint. However, for all the other tools like then Visual Studio Code and all the stuff Postman we want to install, there exists something similar as well. But important to know is from distribution to distribution, it is a little bit different. Even on a Mac, you use the command line to install all of these resources you need for your development. But again, it is a little bit different. That means Ubuntu works a little bit different, like for example Linux Mint, which is based on Ubuntu. Red Hat looks different, and whatever else you want to do. The good message is you can nearly everywhere install your Angular development tools. For example, I installed my Angular development tools last night just on a Kali Linux I have at home. However, that is the way to do it on Linux Mint. First thing to do, of course, is to update your repository. After this is done, my repository information is correct. And the next thing I have to do to install the right Node.js version is just to allow getting stuff with curl. And to do so, I have to install on my Linux Mint just the curl version. Here we are, curl build essentials. And the next thing to do is to select the right Node.js version. That is a little bit problematic because there are many of these Node.js versions outside. I need a proper new version, so I want to install the last known good from version 18 of Node.js. Others are possible as well. You can find then, I like to say similar lines just in the installation description. This will now install the 18 version, so I just enter that. And after I got the right packages, I can directly install with the help of apt install Node.js that specific Node.js. There are other ways to install Node.js directly from the standard repository, but be careful. This time it could be that your Node.js version is then pretty old. That will not help you with your Angular development. By the way, as well, if you try it directly using the apt repository, you will get Node and of course npm separate. Both are older versions, and because of that, the way we are using the curl command here will help us to get exactly the version we want. So after that is installed, we should now have npm, of course, and node to show you that, of course. First node. Here we are, version 18 as expected. Then, of course, npm. We need that very soon. Here we are, version 8.8. That's great as well. And once we have node and npm installed, we can just install Angular. Therefore, we have to use the package manager we installed before. So that means I will just install here with npm the Angular client tools. And as you always can see, because I'm on Linux, I have to enter the sudo command in front of every other command. That is just to get the admin privileges to install software. As you can easily see, if I just use the ng command, that stands for Angular, and want to see the version, then I get now the hint that Angular is installed just in the right version. You see as well the npm version. You see as well the Node version. All versions are there. Angular, it's version 13.3.5. Perfect. With that, I can easily work with the Identity Manager client front, and I can easily do all the next steps you will see in several videos. This is just Angular. Left is, of course, Visual Studio Code we want to use for coding, and of course Postman. And to do so, I start now with Visual Studio Code. To do that, first thing I need, it's the wget, just to get software and of course license informations from the internet. As you easily can see, it is already there, so nothing to upgrade. Next thing I have to do, of course, is I have to install here the apt transport HTTPS. That is a tool I need to get the information. Very shortly installed. Then I will use, like before, with curl the command just to get the package information from Microsoft. Here we are. And two more commands to do. I have to make that aware. System aware of, here it is, so that I get that wonderful command there. I have to select the right package list and enter the information into my source list. And if this is done, then I should be able to see it. So let's see if we were successful here in etc and apt sources list. There we are. Sources list D, of course. We are interested in the Visual Studio Code list. And here, as you easily can see, there is the entry that just shows me that that package code for code is now available. To install code, it is quite easy. I can directly start with installing code. To get aware of that new package, I have, of course, to read the package information. That is what I typically do with the apt update. And once my package is recognized and my package store is recognized, I see here as well an upgrade that need to happen. I can do that as well. So now we are prepared, and the last thing to do, of course, is to use the apt install to install code. And of course, installing code is only possible because we added the repository from Microsoft here into our list of repositories. That was the list you saw before. And that allows me now to install code. So, three things left to do. There is to install Postman, I have to install Git, and I want to create my first installation directory for my first Angular project. Let's start with Postman. Postman is something very specific, therefore I need another repository which is called Snap. To install Snap, I have to, I like to say to install Snap first. If you try on a Linux Mint, which is very Linux Mint specific, for example, to install Snap directly, then you will easily see that if you try to do that, you get an error message that says this is not a candidate to install. And that is that in Linux Mint to install Snap, it's, I like to say prohibited. And to get rid of, the first thing I have to do, I have to remove that specific information that blocks Snap. And this is an etc, of course, and there in apt and then preferences, and there is then a no Snap preference. If I remove them, already done, I can easily run the installation command. This time it will work. And once Snap is already installed, I can now just modify that command a little bit. I don't use the apt, I will use Snap to install the rest. Install, it's fine. And I have not to install Snap from Snap. I have just to snap here Postman. And with that, I can easily install my Postman. And a short while later, that Postman is already installed. Last thing to install is of course Git. And to install Git, I can use my app package manager again. And with that, everything is installed. I can now make it run. To do so, I will first create a folder somewhere in my documents. That is the folder where my Angular web development should be received in the future. Then I will just directly jump into that specific folder. Here we are. In that specific folder, I will initiate that folder so that I can use it with Git repositories. And as you easily can see, there is now the .git folder that says this is maintained and controlled by a Git repository. And the next step is I can open code and make all work. Therefore, I use the code command and a period, and that opens Visual Studio Code. That was one of the tools I already created. Yes, I trust me and my authoring here. I like the dark theme. That is nice as well. So I can directly close that. And you see here, I'm now in the Angular web development folder to get that work. You have seen it in Windows, exactly the same steps in Linux. I need some plugins. There is the NX plugin, of course. We need as well all stuff or some stuff for Angular. There are the snippets. You have seen them before. And there is, of course, then the language support. And we need HTML and CSS support. There we are. And it could be helpful to have as well a cascading style sheet formatter. So with that, we are ready to go, even in Linux. Next step is to open the terminal. You might remember that. Here we are. We are able to use our Angular. Looks absolutely good for me. And to get now my first Angular project, I can use the new command for Angular. And that is the project I will later on create here. That is the identity management. I don't need Angular routing, of course. And I will use CSS. And after a while, my Angular project is already installed by npm. Here you can see it. And to show you that, I can directly in the console jump into that specific project. And in the project, I can use ng again. This time, of course, with serve. And as you have seen it with open, I will then get my browser that shows me directly the compiled project. And here we are. This is the start page of a new project in Angular. This time installed on a Linux Mint workstation, and easily to see, it works and looks like the same than on the Windows workstation before.